up, brother?
How's it going?
It's going very well. How are you doing?
Dude, these allergies are really kicking my tail.
Dude, it was so funny. I saw your video and it cracked me up because I can so relate to the freaking allergy stuff that kills you at this time of year.
Yeah, man. Like, I look like I have pink eye right now. Paulie just texted me. I was like, dude, you look like you have pink eye. And I'm like, yep, I know.
You can always count on Paulie to give you that advice that you need, just that pump up that you really need before you're about to do something. He's just always so, positive.
I know he's so loving and compassionate and just
I love that.
motivational.
I love that guy. He's something. He's something. All right. No, we love him. We love him. He's what he is who he is. We like that. So
Yeah, he's one of my best friends for sure.
yeah. How long ago did you guys meet?
Um, I want to say September. Uh, he started doing content in August and I started in September, and I met him like right as soon as I started. And we hit it off really well, and yeah, man, we got really close.
That's cool. That's awesome. I always wonder how people meet and how that all works out. So that's pretty cool. Well, brother, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. For those of you that are joining the chat, please like the live. Please share out the live. Let's get some more people in here. We've got a lot of good people that want to hear this interview. We'll be recording it for the Tube of the U as well, so we'll have it on there for replay. So that'll be nice and be able to talk about that. But yeah, definitely like it and share it up. And you got to tell me who our friend is that I hear that is going to be with us tonight.
That is my ex-wife's dog, Sadie, and yeah,
She's
yeah.
completely fine. Completely, not your dog though.
No, she's pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good, brother, all good. No worries at all. Well, we'll go ahead and get going, man, because I know that you're busy and I know that it's late, and I know we're gonna learn a little bit more about you today. I'm looking forward to it. So, first question I got for you, Eli, is, man, when did you get into all this? Because I was kind of curious. I love your tagline. I was laughing. It was just a bald dude spending way too much money on perfume, and I love that statement. That just cracked me up. I think it tells us a lot about you. But when did you kind of get into this whole journey, and talk us through that a little bit?
So I really kind of fell in love with different colognes and perfumes and fragrances when I was younger. Uh, I I remember my mom got me like the OG Curve that we all had in the gold bottle. I had Stetson. I had Preferred Stock. I don't know if you know about that one
Oh
or not,
yeah,
but I had
oh yeah.
Preferred Stock and Michael Jordan and Tommy Hilfiger. And I had like a rotation of 5 or 6 when I was probably in the 5th grade. And I remember my cousin got Hugo Boss EDT, and I keep a bottle on my shelf, but because like it's the first fragrance that I like saved up my money to buy. I think it was $30 for the 5 ounce or some shit. So I saved up my allowance. I got $5 a week for 6 weeks, and I didn't even think about tax, right? So I went to Walmart to get it, and I was with the tax, I was like $2 short or something, and my mom looked at me and she's like, "This time I'll do it, but next time you have to get it all yourself." Yeah. I won't talk about my childhood too much, but when my mom was in a good headspace, she was a great mother, and she always like really wanted us to have the things that we wanted. But yeah, so that was the first one that I saved up and bought myself. So I still keep it. I don't wear it often. It smells great to me, but it's pretty synthetic and a little bit too fruity and sweet and just very youthful.
Isn't it
So
funny how
that's what.
Isn't it funny how those fragrances though? I mean, they're so nostalgic. Like even this week, I think I posted a video. Like I just randomly came across this old Tommy Hilfiger, and I'm like holy crap! I'm like I haven't smelled this stuff in ages, and it instantly took me back to like middle school, like in a heartbeat. Like it's just wild how those things just have such a claw on your psyche when you smell something like that you haven't smelled in forever.
Yeah, man. It's wild. Like the the scent memory and association with fragrance is so powerful, and like plenty of people, and there's been plenty of studies done on how strong the olfactive system is on triggering memories. But yeah, so like they've always been kind of like a part of my life. Um, last June, um, I think I had like a 4 bottle rotation. I'd never done like any niche stuff or anything like that. And I smelled green Irish tweed for the first time. And that was the first niche that I purchased. Background about me, like now I'm in sales and like construction and stuff like that. But before that, most of my life I've been in manual labor. I was in the Marine Corps and got out. I went into landscaping, and I've done a lot of landscaping and a lot of grass cutting. Also, when I was a teenager, I cut grass all the time. My grandparents raised me, and I was always cutting grass to make extra money. So, like that grassy smell of green Irish tweed just makes me feel so good, and like brings back, like it just makes me feel good. Makes me think of all those good times that I had. And cutting grass is hard work, but I mean, it's pretty fun. It's pretty easy. It's like very meditative. So
Dude, you're singing my language all over because I mean I can't even tell you how many times I've had that grass therapy. Like when you finally get out there and you can cut grass, you can actually, I don't know, clear your headspace and just kind of get away from the world a little bit. It's I definitely know what you're talking about. I didn't do it as for a profession, but it's definitely a place to escape every now and then. So I can definitely relate to that.
yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's funny that scent too, that scent profile too, because it's funny because with TJB, who's on here a lot, we talk about green fragrances, and he's not a big fan of them, and I'm like, I don't know what it is about them. I like them, like Sur La Route by, I mean, that's one I love. Like I love that kind of green note in Sur La Route by Louis Vuitton. I mean, there's a lot of them out there that I have, but I agree with you. There's something about it. It's refreshing and it kind of brings back good memories. I'm right there with you on that one. For those of you that are just joining us, this is FragTalk Live Midweek Edition. So just kind of wanted to let you know that we try to keep an eye on the chat a little bit, but this is really about a conversation between me and Eli. This is kind of more of like a podcast format where we get to know a content creator or a perfumer, or someone that's in the business or in the content fragrance space. So feel free to be active in the chat. Just know that we'll kind of be monitoring a little bit. I do want to say thank you to all of the friends that are in the chat right now because we've got some great ones. So I know that some great supporters of Eli are in here. Polysense, the Notes with Victoria does a great job. Benny Smells is in here. We've got some great people. Certified Fresh Fragrance in here. I mean, we just have some awesome content creators. So, and I think that's also a testament. That is a testament to you, brother. That's a testament to Eli because he's built a really good friendship list. But I think he's also one of those content creators who really cares about people, and it shows in his content. And so I kind of want to start right there, Eli. You do things I think in a way that really draw people to you. Is that something that you kind of always started out with, or is that something that you learned by watching others? I'm just kind of curious as your approach to being a content creator that way.
I think part of like I'm not the most like artistic, expressive, or creative guy in the world. Like I never claimed to be, and I never will. But something that I do focus on is like what what service can I bring to people? What value can I bring to people? And like, yes, most of these are like things that I enjoy and things that I like, obviously, because it comes out of my collection. But being able to have conversations with my friends, like all the content creators you listed, and then it's Bruce Fragrance in the chat. He's one of my Australian people. You know, like I've got people. It's so crazy. There's so many people all over the world that I take feedback and influence from, and try and try and make it my own style and give something back to where I can bring like a little bit of uniqueness. It's kind of hard in fragrance talk to have that uniqueness because most of us are just sitting either in front of a bookshelf, at a desk, whatever, talking about fragrance. And it's I lately I've been experimenting more with like just different humor styles. Like it's all me, but it's just different parts of my personality because it's hard to get to know somebody in a 90-second video. Now, if I combine different parts of me over all throughout my creation, then you can get to know me more. But for like my first 3 or 4 months, it was just one part of me that I was showing. And now I'm trying to get into where I show those different parts of like my sense of humor. Of course, my taste shows up, but also like things that I don't even think about. And then I'll have people in the community comment on videos like, there was another friend of mine who commented and requested like a lavender video, and like lavender is not one of those scents that just pops into my head like, oh, I want a lavender fragrance today. So I had to think about it, and I had to pick out some fragrances that have lavender or kind of lavender forward and that I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's really interesting how everybody has a different take and how we're all trying to figure out this thing as the algorithm changes and as we kind of try to figure things out. I mean, for me, it's like, gosh, it seems like the best videos I do are the ones that are like 7 or 9 seconds, right? And it's like, God dang, like what can you really do in 7 or 9 seconds to really like, help somebody? But it's like those are the ones that get the reach and get the push. And so it's like it's this constant battle of trying to get enough views, but also kind of stay true to what you're trying to do with the platform. And I don't know, part of that reason for me, I don't know, maybe you can tell me what your thoughts are, but like I've really tried to experiment a little bit more with it, with IG and Tube of the U and all the other platforms that are out there, just trying to get some other opportunities out there because I don't know where this platform's going. I hope it continues to do well, but like I don't know. I feel like I struggle with it a little bit. Do you ever feel that way, or what have you thought about from a platform perspective?
I was actually talking to Victoria, Chaz, Jimmy, and Polly the other night. Like I find that on IG, my my follower count to view is ridiculously better than it is on TikTok. So I've been considering orient orienting orienting more towards that, and then instead of focusing on creating for TikTok, creating there and posting it on TikTok as well, instead of creating for TikTok and posting it there as well. Because I get better views. The engagement isn't as good though. I get much better engagement on TikTok, and you would think more engagement would be bigger reach, but it doesn't always translate.
I know. And for those of you that are tuning in, our guy Eli's dealing with the wonderful seasonal allergies. So, brother, hang in there. I feel for you. I feel bad for you because I've been there. It's that time of the year, man, where it's just kicking our butt. And the other thing that sucks about that is that I don't know about you, but when I get all those allergies that are killing me, I can't smell my fragrances, and that kind of that sucks in its own right. But I don't know. Keep listening. Notes with Victoria will probably give us some. I don't know. She'll probably have some kind of science thing to clear you up.
Just wear something strong.
Yeah, just just blast it through for sure. Certified fresh or cracking me up, dude. You're cracking me up in the chat. So keep it up, keep it up. He's all choked.
Praise hell.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you about the shirt. So you got to tell me, guy. That was one of the questions I was going to ask right away. Was the Earnhardt shirt? So talk us through that a little bit. You're in North Carolina, so that explains it a little bit.
Exactly. It's I'm not like a huge NASCAR fan, but I grew up in the South. I grew up in North Carolina, and you know, Jesus and Dale Earnhardt were two people that you learned about and that you really respected. And even though I'm not like a huge NASCAR fan, Dale Earnhardt was the man. And I try and honor my culture and my upbringing and the traditions in my family, and it's just kind of a way for me to show respect to tradition here.
I love it. Yeah, Tobacco Road and the whole thing. So I guess a couple questions I have for you. Number one, Duke or North Carolina? I guess is one question, or neither.
Uh, I This is gonna break some hearts or get some people mad at me. I'm not a huge basketball fan. If if I'm pulling for one, it's gonna be Duke.
Gotcha.
Just it.
Just says, hey, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason. It's like I was just wondering about that. So, yeah, that's Benny Dick Trickle. He's gonna get in a NASCAR beef with you over who is who here. I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
I know it's.
I, I'm a big football fan. That's my sport, and that's something me and Polly also connected on pretty heavily too.
Did you play?
I did. So I played in middle school and my first year of high school, and then and that uh, that's when I started to really start getting in trouble more and all that stuff. So sports kind of went out the window.
Hey man, we've all been there. Life, life starts getting interesting. But so, who's your college football team, or are you more of a pro fan?
College football, Tennessee. No, Lizzie Beth. the the tide does not roll in this house. My
Say
mom was a huge Alabama fan, and she got to taunt me for multiple years. I wish she was still here so I could rub it in her face that Alabama is not good anymore.
you're welcome. By the
And
way, my Indiana Hoosiers, you're welcome that we took care of business with Alabama this year.
but I've been a 49er fan since 1995. They won the Super Bowl the year I was born. The first Super Bowl I remember watching was Steve Young just absolutely torching the Broncos. You know, he threw 5 touchdowns. Yeah,
Yeah, it was kind of cool day for me. We actually had the national championship trophy on campus today, so we got to get a chance to take our photos with it. We had the Heisman on campus too, so that was fun to be able to get your photo taken with it. It was like an out of body experience for me to be, sitting here thinking like, okay, this is at an Indiana University campus. I'm just sitting here looking around like, what the heck? Like, did I step into the Twilight Zone? Like, I don't know. And like, I see all these little kids come up to get their photo with the trophy, and I'm like, it's not fair. I'm like, they don't know the heartache that we've gone through for generations of awful football before, and they just think IU is good at football. And I'm sitting here thinking, man, they don't know what's going on.
I watched that game in Costa Rica. It was
That's right. I remember you being on vacation. I think that we talked about that. Yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I keep this close by, just while I can. I mean, who knows? They're probably going to be dog crap this year, so I figured I might as well take advantage of it while I can. So,
also one of the best sports movies ever. Hoosiers.
100%, you can never go wrong with Hoosiers. So that gym is actually not far. So, well, it's far from me personally, but it's not. I mean, it's not that far away. I could drive there, easily in a half day. But that gym is still around, and you can tour it. You could actually rent it out to go play basketball in it. Like you and your buddies can like rent it and go play basketball in that old gym. And then they obviously Hinkle Fieldhouse, where Butler plays. So yeah, a lot of good movies there, a lot of good talk there. But I do have a question. You were talking a little bit about how many fragrances that you have, and I think that you actually are probably on the more moderate end. Is that right? Or how many are you kind of up to? You think now?
I it depends on who you compare it to. To some people, I've got like a ridiculous amount. To some people, I'm more moderate. I have around 200.
Okay,
Um, I I just did a declutter. I might be like in the 190 range. I don't have an accurate count. Um, but I've started with my with my with my fragrances. If it's not above at 8 to me, like then I'm getting rid of it. Like if it's not something I at least think about wearing once every 2 weeks, then it's going.
I love it. I mean, I love that approach. I mean, that's something I'm trying to do. I'm probably a little ahead of you. Maybe I'm probably pushing 300, but I'm going to do a declutter soon to kind of get back down. I think that 200 is like that sweet spot. Because it's just hard to wear them, and it just becomes too much for your brain to eat and kind of take on. But I tell you, it's hard though. I don't know how you've dealt with this. How do you deal with it being a content creator of like, hey, I want to be able to have that new fragrance to be able to do a review on it, or I want to kind of keep up with things, but I don't want to amass like 700 bottles. So how do you balance that? Like, is it just quick in, quick out, or how do you handle that?
For me personally, I had kind of a realization. I guess I guess right before ASD, like I don't buy things just because they're hot on social media anymore. Like I have to try it, I have to like it, or it has to be recommended by somebody who I trust dearly. And if they're recommending me something that's hyped, then I'm gonna smell it first. But most of the recommendations I get are from people who know me pretty well, that we talk not just on TikTok, but we talk outside of the platform, and they know my taste, and they'll recommend me something like Benny recommended me Black Oud by Audio Labs, and my friend Fragmatic Ben, he also recommended it, so that one is on my list. As soon as I see it, I'm gonna grab it. The notes look good to me. It's not hyped, but I don't really care.
Yeah, no, it makes complete sense to me. I love that strategy. I mean, I think that's and I love that you did a declutter and trying to get rid of things too. I think that's so. Where are you on the dupe situation? Are you kind of in the clone situation? Are you kind of like, I've smelled enough of them where I'm going to try to stay away from 'em a little bit, or,
Pretty
ca-
much.
yeah, pretty much there. And has that been a journey for you, or what's that been
It's
like?
it's not been a big part of my journey. I never got like I've never been I don't get PR from Beauty House or anything like that. So I I had like a pretty short window of buying them just for content, and then I bundled them all and sold them as a bundle. I probably have like 15 or 20. There's some that I really enjoy. Like if it's something that that several people I'm close to recommend to me, and they're like, "Hey, this is a really good one for one." Like Symphony. I'm not going to buy a bottle of Symphony probably ever, but Psycho is a pretty good interpretation of it. So I have a bottle of Psycho. Yeah,
Yep, no, it makes complete sense. Guys, if you're not following Eli, here you go, right here, right now. Make sure that you pick him up and you follow his page. I love his profile photo. It was actually funny. I put that advertisement out, and somebody goes, "Is he vaping?" I'm like, "No, he's smelling the fragrance. Come on, guys, what are you doing? What are you talking
yeah.
about? Come on, don't be talking about
Thanks.
that." Yeah, so yeah, Quan's in here in the chat too.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, he's great. Quan, you're the man. Thank you, guys. Didn't we come up with a new name for him the other night in the live? I think we did we call him Quanvic? I think it was Quanvic. I think is what we is what we came up with.
The Quan.
You'll have to confirm for me, Polly. I think he was wearing a white shirt that yeah, Quanvic in the beater. Yeah, there you go. That was the shirt he was wearing. Yeah. So
Music.
there you go. See, now we've got it. See, it's a brand. It's a brand for you, Quan. Don't run away from it. But make sure you guys scoop up Eli. Thanks again for joining us tonight. This is FragTalk Live Midweek Edition. This is where we interview some of our favorite people in the fragrance community. It may be a content creator. It might be somebody that owns a brand or a fragrance. So we are kind of watching the chat a little bit. But those of you that might be kind of please be active in the chat. But we may not see everything. We'll try to react to things as we can. But we're really here to get to know Eli better, and he's already opened up a little bit talking about his journey. And one of the things I'm kind of interested in, you've kind of so when did you go to your first fragrance event? Because I think is that been a relatively new thing for you going to events?
Yeah, the first one was funny enough. It was ASD, and which worked out well for me because like the event was was interesting, and it like it was a cool experience. But outside of the event was what I was really there for anyway. Like I love Vegas. I'm kind of a degenerate, so I fit in really good there. And then like the shopping, and then getting to hang out with like Polly. Since with Chris was one of my first friends on TikTok before I was making content. Um, the notes with Victoria, Burger, Chewy, um, Jet, uh, AJ. There was just so many people there that I got to hang out with and get to know better. And I think my favorite part was when there was like 16 of us at the Brazilian steakhouse, and we were just all kind of like vibing. It was really cool.
Breaking bread, man. That's the thing it does it, man. When you can get together and really talk to people, and it's such an eclectic group too. So you got to tell me, you got to kind of give us the dirt. So is Paulie as fun to hang out with as he looks like? I mean, is he bringing the energy, or is he just boring when the camera's turned off?
Polly is awesome to hang out with, but I will say this is that Polly, when he's at an event, like he goes into business mode. Like he is there to do business, and if that's not happening, he is getting frustrated. Sorry, I'm airing your business, Polly, but
Love
it's true.
that. I love that, man. That's you can't go wrong with that. I mean, hey, you're there for a reason, right? I love that. That's a part of it. But he makes it. I think I love the way his style is though, because I think that the way he does it is he's all about business. You can tell that, but he has fun too, and I just love seeing the whole thing. Look, he's like, hey, I
Yeah,
am who I am. It is. Hey, it is what it is. That's okay.
exactly. And there's no apologies needed.
I love it. And the Victoria, man, I love that girl. I feel like I learn something every time I'm around her. And I will say this: I did reach out to Victoria earlier. I just sent her an email. I said, "Hey, you want to come on FragTalk Live Midweek Edition?" And she just didn't get to the email. And then she saw I scheduled you, and I think she got a little jealous. And so she reached out. She's like, "Hey, I'd love to come on sometime." I'm like, "Well, Victoria, I sent you a note, so she may be following you up. So she may have some dirt on you next week if we're able to get her on."
She's already sent me some very, very mean messages. I love you too, Jay. I appreciate you. Yeah, yeah.
I don't believe it. You can't talk bad about her.
She sent me some very mean stuff. She told me that I better not show up tonight. No, I'm kidding. Victoria, I don't think I've laughed as hard in months as when we were doing that 21 questions game, and she said, "Is the bottle made of glass?" That like the cut in that you can hear me start laughing when they cut it. They probably cut out like a minute and a half. Like I was belly laughing, crying, standing in the corner, like trying to stop laughing, and I couldn't. It was
I
so
I know she's in here. She's not defending her honor yet in the chat, but I know she's gonna come back in here in a second and probably start defending herself. But it was the funniest video. I loved. I can only imagine the things that didn't make air and how good those were. So, oh, she's here. She's taking notes. That's what she's doing. She's taking good notes to be able to defend herself next week when she's on. But man, one of the things I've kind of always asked people that I'm always curious about, and you may have already answered it in a way, but so what's that one bottle in your collection you're never going to get rid of no matter what? Is it that first bottle, or what's that thing that you really are like, I'm always going to have this?
there's a few of them that I'll always have. I will always have a version of Aventus. I will always have like bar anything crazy happening. Um, I'll always have a bottle of Hugo Boss EDT, and then I'll always have Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford.
Tobacco oud. Oh, honestly, that's one Tom Ford I've never smelled.
It's the listen. You can say what we want about Jeremy Fragrance. Back in the day, his reviews were on point. That was his favorite Tom Ford. That's a lot of people's favorite Tom Ford. It's Decision is also one of those that I'll always have by Amouage. But Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford, like it's just so unique. It it checks all the boxes for me. It is a more seasonal wear. Like I'm not gonna wear it on a 90-degree day, but that evening I'll put it on when I get home. Everybody's been
Oh yeah. No, I just saw you probably just heard that because I was getting ready to show something else I wanted to ask you about. So I was looking, I always like to do this on content creators. I always look at their profile and I say, okay, who's got what video popped off the most, right? And you've got this one here that has over 25,000, I think. I don't know. It has a lot of activity on this one. And it was from
everybody's been asking me.
2019 and it was a 5-second clip.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
So that was a video for Boo Jeremy, and I agreed to allow them to promote it. My best video is actually there's one with like 11K. That's the best organic one that I have.
Okay. Is this the most complimented fragrances from women? That one?
Um,
This 11,000 over here. Sorry, I know you can't
yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
is it.
That's good. I'm surprised it's not this one with you shirtless in a hot tub. I really have questions about this or a pool or whatever the heck you're in.
Yeah, I was in the hot tub, and I think it was like the middle of winter. I was down in South Georgia in the hot tub.
You're trying to take I don't know. I don't know what you're doing there. I see what you're trying to do. I see. And hey, you got 5,000 views.
I've been trying everything on to just seeing what sticks.
Pragmatic. The hot tub was peak. It was peak Eli is what that was.
Pragmatic. That's my boy. He's the one that recommended Black Oud to me first, and then Benny recommended it. So that's probably gonna be my next pickup.
That's awesome. That's really cool. Victoria's in the chat. No shirtless videos. We need her to focus. Oh God. They are just killing you. With friends like this, Eli, who needs enemies, right, man? I mean, they love you. You can tell.
she's not wrong. The interaction was mostly my male friends, my male straight friends. So
You guys crack me up. I love the friendships that are born here, man. This is what makes me happy. I mean, I love to see this in the community, and that's the thing that is so crazy about the community is that sometimes people talk about how toxic it is, and I know it is in certain ways, but I think a lot of it depends on who you hang out with and who you really associate with, and you can kind of determine kind of who you're with and who you talk to. And have you found that? Have you found that dark side of the platform yet, or have you just kind of been like, hey, I'm going to stay on the high end, if that means, Polly and Victoria and those guys, if that's the high end, I think it might be. But what do you, how do you hang with that?
I try and stay away from like any type of negativity. Like most of the people who I interact with are very positive. There's some that will leave like snarky comments, and I actually love those. I love getting that engagement because it's so fun to just be like, oh, cool. Like respond back to it. Like they'll leave like a message like this, and I'm like, oh, cool. Or I'm
Just
not
shut
reading
them
all
down.
that.
Just shut them down right from the beginning.
I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened. Is what I've got a friend that says that a lot. I'm not reading all that. I'm happy for you, or I'm sorry that happened to you.
I really do. I might start using that approach. I like that. And I'll tell you, the lives are so funny. So you watch Chewy do his lives, man. I freaking love watching that guy work, man. I love watching him in the lives. I love watching him shut people down, but also, lift people up. Like that's like if I can aspire to be anyone on a live, that's the guy I want to be like. I mean, I watch him in awe of how good he does, and how he kind of keeps everything going, but also remains positive, but also shutting people down. I think it's a skill that he must have learned over time, but I love it.
And he's so great in person. Like Chewy is just an incredible human being.
Yeah, I've not got a chance to meet. I've not got a chance to meet many of you in person yet, but hopefully soon. I'm gonna try to get some events this year, and we'll see. Working with the schedule that I work, it's a little bit harder, but I'm gonna try to make it happen. Because I really do think there is something to be said, like you said, about sitting down and breaking bread with people and having a conversation and really getting to know them, and that's really where I think good friendships happen. So no doubt about it. So what's the biggest thing you've learned in this fragrance journey? Is there anything and then I guess piggyback that, is there anything you do differently if you started over today?
Um, like the biggest thing related to like content, or
Yeah.
just like one of the bigger the one. Okay.
Yeah.
The biggest thing I've learned created like with content is the hook is 95% of the video. Like you have to nail that. Um, if there's anything I would have done differently, I would have started with shorter form, like even shorter form content than I do. Like we were talking about, I would be doing 10 to 15-second videos, and I would be posting three a day. And I would include some humor, something shocking, uh, or something informational. So like I would rotate through those.
You say something shocking and all of a sudden I see Mr. Burger pops up into the chat. So, it's funny. It was like on demand. He just heard that and just decided he had to be here. What
Yeah,
happens? He's a good
yeah.
dude. Have you watched his content quite a bit? Have you got a chance to meet Burger yet?
I did. I met Bert. He was with us in Vegas. He's an awesome person too. I had such a good time hanging with Burger.
His
He
humor is
is,
like one of a kind. Like I feel like he'd be a guy that would be hard to know sometimes when he's joking or not, just from the way his style is. I don't know.
and like his content is funny. Don't get me wrong. Like his content is tops. I love that. But in person, that dude is so much funnier than on TikTok, if you can believe that.
I can't believe
Like,
that. I
he's
can't.
hilarious.
He's gonna start winning you in these lives all the time because it just, helping his ego a little bit. He's like he's gotta be pumped up right now. He's excited you keep pumping him up. So freaking love it. But so man, you talk about growing up in North Carolina. So you've been in North Carolina all your life, right? So what's the fragrance scene kind of like in North Carolina?
Well, I was in North Carolina until I was 17, and then I joined the Marine Corps, and then I came back when I was 20, almost 22. Um, Fragrance scene here is it's different. Like North Carolina is a lot. It's a much bigger state than most people think. Like for me to get to Charlotte's like 2 hours for me to get to Raleigh's, like 4 for me to get to the coast is like 6. Now when I lived in Franklin, I was even further west, so it was an hour for me to even get to the mall in Asheville. All we have here in Asheville, like local to me, we have Pumpkin Dandy, which is an indie brand. They have their main location here, and then Dillard's, and then like Ulta and
Sephora.
Belk. No, there's no Sephora.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no Sephora. And what's really cool is there's not like a lot of stores, but there. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to be true for most places. There are a lot of people who are fragrance enthusiasts. A few of them started a group on Facebook, which is called WNC Fragrance Enthusiasts. And we do a meetup once a month. And like, we'll bring like 10 fragrances each, and we'll all smell each other's stuff and trade samples. Like somebody will bring a big bag of those plastic sample bottles, bunch of test strips, and some people will bring like I don't know if you've seen my sample case. I got an earring holder that's like 12 by 10 or something, and I'll bring a bunch of samples. It's it's really fun, and you get to meet people local to you. And there are 2 other really great creators in Asheville. There's one who's been doing it for a long time, and he's got a pretty big following, and he has been like so helpful anytime that I've had any type of questions, because like he's been doing it for a long time. He's got, I want to say, like 60K, which I to me that's a lot, you know.
To me, it's a
I
hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, and you bring up something really. I just want to spotlight, because I think this is so important. I encourage anybody on here, if you haven't tried to meet anybody that's somewhat local to you, I really encourage you to try to do that if you can. Obviously, be safe about it and check them out and all the things. But like, Lizzie Beth is a perfect example. She's in here. Elizabeth is really. We live in the same town, or pretty close. Might as well be the same town, and we get together sometimes and we'll trade samples and just smell new fragrances and have that kind of interaction. And it is so much freaking fun to do that. Like that thing will turn into like a 4-hour session over coffee or more. Just having a good conversation. It's so much fun when you can actually do that with somebody else. So, and we're talking about how we can get other people involved, or maybe do our own little kind of meetup, from kind of the Midwest folks that are over in Ohio, and some that are in Indiana. So I just encourage anybody to try to do that if you can. It's really a cool community, and I think it takes it to that next level. And also, it's just fun to smell things that you wouldn't have normally would have purchased for yourself, and kind of break that stuff down. I think that makes it a whole lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, there's been some stuff that I've smelled at those things where I'm like, this is my next purchase. You
And
know?
and the opposite. I've been things I'm like, oh my God, you just saved me $300. Thank you.
Yeah.
'Cause I would not, I would,
No, this is not good.
yeah, this is not good. This is not for me. So thank you for saving me that money. That's for sure. That's always that it always makes me think about it. So, when what made you I don't think I've really kind of asked you this question, but like, what made you hit that post button for the first time? Like, what made you think, like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. I don't, I don't know. I always ask people, and I know it's a hard question, but like, what made you hit that button?
Uh, there's an Australian creator, Unglazed Sense. He's one of my best friends. We've gotten really close, but he had a Discord. He started. I've been following him since he had like, I don't know, 1,500 followers. He's probably around 15K now, but he started a Discord. I joined that, and when we would chat often, and he kind of watched my collection grow from like 5 bottles to the whole top of my dresser drawers to the whole top of my kitchen table. And he's like, dude, you got to start making content. And I'm like, I don't know, man. He's like, bro, you've got so much money invested. Like, you just start making it. And I started making it, and I I started getting close with more of the Australians. Like Smells Hectic, he is probably one of the most underrated content creators on TikTok.
And has the
Give
best
step out.
voice in the freaking world. That dude, I could just listen to him talk all day long.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But he's super encouraging. And then like since with Chris, those 2 guys I knew before I was making content, and they kind of help push me into it. Not so much push me into it, but encourage me. And like I'm like, dude, this is gonna be so bad. And they're like, yeah, but it'll be fine. Like you just give it a month, you'll get better at it.
It's so funny. That's the advice that I've been given too, back in the day. It's funny how many people do that, right? And they're just like, yeah, it's gonna suck. Like go back and watch your first videos now and you just cringe when you watch them. Like I wouldn't recommend it to anybody to go back and watch your first videos. It's a painful experience, but what I do love is the encouragement. And I have had so many people who've been encouraging on here when they didn't have any reason to be. All right. Like they're just like, hey man, you did a great job with this or that, or try this next time. And like that's a thing that really jazzes me up, is that people like will actually give you some feedback at times, and you know who to listen to for the feedback and who not to listen to, and it makes it. I think that makes it that makes a big difference too. That people that actually care, that will help you out when they have no reason to do it, right? They just do it because of the kindness of their heart, and that makes a big difference to me.
Yeah, dude. Like the older I get, the more I realize the most valuable resource we have is time. And when somebody gives me their time for expecting nothing in return, like I take that to heart.
Which is one of the reasons why I appreciate you so daggone much being here with us tonight and answering these crazy questions I'm throwing at you. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your time with us tonight. And this is a question I ask people that always throws people off sometimes. So, are you more of a collector, a reviewer, or an enthusiast? Like, which camp would you call yourself, and why?
I'm more of an enthusiast because if I wasn't making content, I would still be buying bottles. I And the reason I say enthusiast versus collector is because I was talking to my friend Brody about this the other day. He he he's like, well, what Tom Fords suck, and do you have them? I'm like, yeah, there are Tom Fords that suck, and I don't own them. It's like all the ones that I own, like I think they're good, and I want to wear them.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because the enthusiasts are my favorite content creators to follow because you can tell. Like, you're exactly right. Like you can tell if they're an enthusiast or if they're just doing it because they're trying to push a bottle or they're trying to, I know TikTok. I'll pull a Chewy. TikTok shop is the best shop in the world. The Chewy thing, and but you can
TikTok shop,
tell.
that shop.
Yeah, but TikTok's not the best shop in the world. But it is one of those things where, you can tell the people who are out there just really that they don't have a passion for it. They're just trying to make a buck. Again, nothing wrong with making a buck on here. I mean, because a lot of times you're helping people out. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just you can tell the people that are in it just for that and don't have that enthusiast background and that love behind it. And I think that's where I notice it. Speaking of, TikTok shop is the best shop in the world. Working Sense is in the building, and thank you for the gifts, brother. We appreciate you. But I love that guy. We were just talking about you earlier. I don't know if you were in here, but we were giving you some mad love there, Chewy. So you were getting mad love in the chat, and he shows up. That's what happens. Oh, you having mic problems? What are you doing there?
Yeah, this one's dying, so I'm just switching.
How many videos did you record today?
Oh, dude, I don't charge I charge my mic maybe once a month. Uh, I
Bad habits of content creators.
Dude, I got home from work at around 7. I'm training a new guy and had to and I was on a video chat with some other content creators. I stayed on that for another 30 minutes. Hopped off, recorded a video, edited it, posted it, hopped in the shower, got out of the shower at 9:30, and then we started.
So talk to us a little bit about what you do, man. I know that you said that you're in kind of sales and construction a little bit. And so how long have you been doing that throughout your life? I know you talked about a little bit of your career, but how long have you been in that kind of field?
I started in September of 2023 doing this job. So basically, I do door to door sales. We focus mainly on roofs, but we're general contractors, and I help people get their roofs replaced if they've like suffered storm damage. Like I'm in Western North Carolina, Hurricane Helene. A lot of people don't even know that they can get their roofs replaced if it's not leaking. So like I bring it to their attention. I'm like, hey, you're paying for this coverage. It's it's there to use if you want to utilize it. And then my salary is based off of how much I sell, and then I have a small base.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's. I guess I'll bring that up because I guess you're so like. Have you had to watch like the types of scents you wear just so, and you're kind of dealing with customers, or you just kind of like, it doesn't matter, you just go with it.
Dude, I wear whatever I want whenever I want. I had a job. I've worn Ombre Nomad out working because I wanted to test it out. It just to see how it is. I've gotten great feedback from potential clients, and then I've had some negative feedback.
Yeah, I'm just cracking up because I feel like you have to chart this. Like you have to have like your sales numbers and like what fragrance you wore whenever you made the sale and which ones you wore when you didn't make the sale. There's got to be some more scientific research that goes into this. You're going to have to talk to Victoria. She's going to have to hook you up on this.
It's got to be Super Leggera or Aventus.
I believe it. Most complimented for sure.
Today I got 4 compliments from Super Leggera. 2 were from they were all from men. 2 were from strangers. Yesterday I got a couple compliments on a being Fume, which I'm pronouncing that wrong. Um,
Victoria's going to burn you. I'm
yeah,
pronouncing it wrong.
dude, he constantly like that video was like directed at me and Polly because I always say House of Cosmos. It's not intentional, but it, Cosmo is that that is not proper grammar. It's the cosmos.
Sent right here, buddy. I get you. I get you. No S on the end, but no, I get you. We'll have to talk to our boy Chris about that. I get so much crap from y'all. We do it because we love you.
Yeah, exactly.
We
Exactly.
do. You've got more big brothers, Victoria, than you know what to do with on this platform. I think that's what I would say. Anybody tries to mess with you, they go down in a heartbeat. Uh, so how do you balance the hard part about being entertaining versus having honest reviews, right? Like I always love that question because like we know like people that are either reading AI scripts or they're kind of they're doing certain things, but like are you the kind of guy that's going to give a negative review, or are you going to be like, you know what, I'm gonna not give a negative review. You're not going to hear me talk about the fragrance if I don't like it. How does how does that happen?
So, like I said, I don't really have anything that I don't like. I've got one that I keep, Leather Reserve 83 by Banana Republic. Worst thing I've ever smelled in my life, and it's not intentionally bad, which is why it's the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life. Um, I I don't mind saying that something's bad. Like I really need to go through my samples and do a bit. Like TikTok loves it when you roast some scents. Like when you're this is so bad and you react to them. I don't do that often because I'd rather talk about things that I love. Um, like I'm a fragrance enthusiast, things I'm enthusiastic about, and I would almost rather do that than be entertaining. The entertainment, I think I try and put that in the hook and then just just be honest the rest of the time.
So another thing I've noticed about fragrance content creators, I've noticed, and I know he does this on purpose, and I've not asked him about it yet, but Paulie, I've noticed he really slows his speech down in certain videos. Have you picked up on that, how he does that? It
No,
must
Paul. No, I've never noticed that Paulie slows down when he talks.
Yeah. No, see, yeah. So he slows it down, and it's very. And I know he's doing it for a reason. I don't know the reason yet. I'm not asked him, but there's a reason for it. So, I guess I guess is those are those some things that you try? Like, do you try to change things up a little bit and try different things like that, or how do you? I'm always curious about the creative process, but how you try new things because to me it's like always difficult to think about like what are you going to explore, trying a different piece or doing something a little bit different. How do you kind of make that all work in your head?
I explore use like the different shock and awe factor. Like I've been using a lot of profanity lately, and it's been working well. Not a lot of profanity, but more than what I typically use.
Yep.
So I'll throw that in there for the factor, and it seems to be working right now, um, because it gets people's attention, and they're like, "Oh, well, or no, Jet, I will not try that. I love you though, brother." Um, so that's something I do like trying. I also I'll check creator search insights to see kind of what the content gap is on, and like throw that into the hook. And you know, like sometimes just in everyday life, you say some stuff that's freaking hilarious, and then I'll try and bring that into my content. Um, as far as like changing cadence and stuff, I always try and keep it fast paced. And I've re-recorded so many videos because I feel like I'm talking too slow, or I'll speed it up on CapCut to like 1.1, and it gives me a little bit more pep. But I always try and keep it faster paced because TikTok is it's for people that have about a 1.2 second attention span.
It's just insane to me to even think about that. Like, I even wonder something like, why the hell did I even get on this platform? Like, trying to grab someone's attention for 1.2 seconds. And I even get onto myself when I'm watching videos. I'm like, dude, why did you scroll so quick? Like it's the most frustrating. Yeah, and then go back. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch this whole thing through. Like, I was like, it's like I feel so bad about it because I know like how hard people work on those things to try to get people to stop scrolling. But it's just hard. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's a hard profile. Maybe there's a reason why there's people. I mean, not everybody on here makes it, right? I mean, not everybody on here makes all the money that these platforms have because it is hard. So that's always interesting. One of the things that we all have, and this is a fragrance that like I've got to try to think which one I'm going to use here, but like we all have that fragrance that we have that's popular that everybody loves, but we just don't get. Like it just doesn't work. Is there one in your collection that's like, or not in your collection, but one you smell that's like everybody loves, and they look at you like you have four heads because you don't like it?
I would say the one for me that's most like that is imagination. It's not that I hate it. I
Pollen
don't.
on
Yeah.
demand. He got it.
Yeah. It's not that I hate it. It's just I thought it was gonna blow my mind. And I've had multiple people smell it, like my partner, some of her friends, some of my family members, and they're like, "Yeah, I mean, it's nice," and that's my reaction to it. Yeah, it's nice. I also tried gaslighting myself into liking YSL 6, and I couldn't do it. I got rid of it.
Did you
Like,
keep Thriller though, or no?
no, no, I never bought Thriller. Uh, that is a great. You didn't ask me this, but you're going to get it. That is something that I cannot stand about fragrance talk is when I see the same fragrance review. Like I'm scrolling through TikTok and I've scrolled 4 times and I've saw 4 videos on the same fragrance, and I scroll 10 more times and I see 10 more. I'm like, I'm not interacting with any of y'all stuff. I don't want to see any more Thriller content. If I see it, I swipe, and and that's how I get with it.
No, it's funny that you say that because I used to think differently. I used to think like, why am I reviewing or like, why am I going to post a video on a fragrance that has been out for like 3 months? And I'm like, and I usually say, well, no, I'm going to because there's a lot of people that are never gonna one have are just not getting exposed to it because they're not in this content space like we are, where we're seeing things all the time. But two, it's just something different. Like like all the Purple Melancholia videos that were out forever, right? Like then it's all of a sudden I'm like, well, you know what? Like let's wait a little while. Let's do it a little bit like Midsummer. Like as I start trying to chart things out about what videos I'm gonna do. So I think you might be onto something there. If you're not selling a bottle and trying to sell something like through TikTok Shop, then it seems like to me like it makes more sense to kind of stagger those out a little more.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're the first person to get it, like d- I yeah, I can't stand that. So, but yeah, my fragrance is like that is imagination. To answer your question, sorry.
No, that's great. No, it's a great. No, that's a great answer. I mean, that's a perfect one. I'm trying to think of which one in my collection it would be because there's so many. There's so many out there. I think for me it would probably there's something weird about like 724 by MFK. It does something weird on my skin. I don't know exactly what it is, and it just kind of I'll tell you I'll give you a better one. The better one that probably is the one that I can't get with at all is the YSL, even just the EDT. Like even the EDT, I can't like it does something really weird on me that I just cannot stand. There's some note in there that I just cannot stand. And that's supposed to be yeah, like one of the most yeah, YSL YEDT. Like it's got to be one of the like one of the easiest ones. But and now I got to block Joe. Damn, I don't know what it is about that one. It just doesn't work on me. So there you go. There's mine. So now we both pissed off Polly. So we're in good shape.
Do, do you own a lot of lavender like fragrances with lavender in them? Because I know sometimes they can come off kind of weird, depending on skin, depending on the way we smell things. 724 is I'm not an MFK glazer by any means. I like the one that everyone hates, Baccarat Rouge 540. Love it, and I really enjoy Amorous Home X-Straight and Amorous Home EDT, or yeah, I think it's EDT. But most of them, they don't really do it for me.
So we've not talked much. We've talked about designers. We've talked a little bit about niche. So like, are you into the old for super niche now? Are you kind of getting into that kind of realm, or are you kind of staying more towards the designer fragrances?
Um, I don't really get into the ultra niche, the indie niche. I don't really get into those too much because
Hell, I can't even keep the term straight. I can't even figure out what the hell is what. Like, I don't even. I'm gonna need a flow chart eventually to figure out what the hell is where. I don't really know.
yeah, I I like stuff that smells good to me, and to me, most of the time that's going to be designer private lines. Um, Creed nails it. Amouage nails it for me. Clive Christian nails it for me. And PDM, like, call me basic if you want, but PDM smell good.
I agree. Galloway is one that most people would be like, "What the hell? Like, why do you like Galloway?" Galloway is one of my favorite scents to wear out of PDM. It's just a nice. It's great for the office, and it works. So that's one that I go to a lot. There's a lot of them out there. But no, I agree with you. So those mass appealing scents are a little bit more to your liking. So one of the biggest ones, I know you smelled it. So like House of Cosmo, not Cosmos, we're House of Cosmo. Have you smelled through their line yet? And what are your thoughts on that? Because I know a lot of people are getting their discovery sets in. What have you thought about those fragrances?
I did. I've smelled the whole line, and I've smelled. I've got to smell some super hush hush stuff too. But the the Lunar Mineral is definitely my favorite. That one, it's kind of like a traditional masculine scent. I don't know that it's technically a fougere, but it gives me fougere vibes, and I like fougères. So like that one I really like. I really like New Eden and Nova. Those were the ones that stood out to me. And then I I got to smell Dark Matter before, so I'm looking forward to the new release and the new formulation of that, and to
Yeah.
see how that.
I'm excited about it. And they're just really good. As you know, they're really good dudes. I mean, both Teddy, we've interviewed him before, and Chris, both of them. Chris texted me today about something that he remembered from like 3 weeks ago. And and just checking in on something. I mean, just things like that. I mean, they're just great. I mean, I root for them just because of that, because there's so many other people in the space. I've been dealing with another major company, big company, and it's not been a great thing I've been dealing with. I won't go into all the details because that's not what I do. But it makes you appreciate so much more when you've got people like them that are doing things out there. Like they are just doing the right stuff, and I don't know. I'm excited to root for them and just hope that hopefully they'll continue to have really good success.
Just to toot their horn a little bit more, Chris sent me a message when my grandfather died
Are you serious?
on yeah, on TikTok. Sent me a message, um, and like I'm gonna root for those guys as long as they're doing this. I'm gonna show support however I can.
100%. I mean, that's what makes it. I mean, that's fun. I mean, that's what really makes it. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, there's just. I mean, I've got a couple different stories I've heard similar to that in different ways, and I just want to see them take over the world, man. That's so great. Um, So we'll see what happens. So yeah, I was kind of interested in one of the things that we've talked a little bit about is about the fragrance community. We've talked about kind of what they get right and what they get wrong. Have you put any thoughts into that? Like, where do you think the fragrance community gets things right, and where are we kind of off base right now that we need to figure out our stuff on?
I think something that we do right, and especially like the small to mid-sized creators. I'm not even going to talk about the people who are over 100K because most of them, I I have an opinion about that's negative, and I'm not going to share that.
Oh, come
But
on! No, I'm just
yeah, yeah, like there's no sense in bashing people,
no, I
But
know, I get it, I get it.
the people from like 40 followers up to 100,000 even are just so supportive and encouraging and enthusiastic, and they really seem to care about each other. And I love that. That's something that we do a really good job of getting right. Um, something that we do wrong is something that I touched on earlier is all of us reviewing the same freaking fragrance at the same time.
Yeah. No, it makes a whole lot of sense. And do you ever get also you've talked about, I mean, yeah, Ethan's right on it, like right, like getting burned out from the same content. That makes a whole lot of sense. But like, do you ever feel this pull internally, like when you're recommending fragrances, knowing that people are going to take your advice and they're going to, they're probably going to purchase something that you've recommended, and like, I don't know, like sometimes I get a little bit nervous. I'm like, man, I know people are struggling out there. We get people from all different backgrounds that watch our video, and fragrance buying can be a little addictive in the first place. And I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder, I'm like, man, am I out here talking about things and making people kind of spend their money in a way that they wouldn't normally just by hearing my review or hearing me talk about a fragrance? Has that ever crossed your mind?
No, because for two reasons. Like I can only work from my experience and the experience of people around me. I don't think I do my content in a way that's like, hey, you need to go out and buy this. I make it a point not to do that. These are my favorite things. Check them out. Get some samples. I do multiple videos, or I've done multiple videos, and I'm gonna do another one again soon on where I get my samples from. Going out and trying things in store if possible, and and doing that. Like, there's no reason unless you are an enthusiast or a collector like even if you're a creator, you don't need a huge collection. But if you're an enthusiast or a collector, that's the only reason to have more than 10 bottles, and you're in a position where you can do that. I I I I mean, I guess there are creators that kind of push the sales on the TikTok shop, but that's how they earn their livelihood.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm a salesman by trade. Like I'm not gonna knock. I'm not gonna disrespect the hustle.
And it's disclosed. I mean, it's clearly on there. I mean, it's clearly, that it's content that is for shoppable.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I I I don't know how TikTok Shop works exactly, but I do know this. Like, I'm a grown man. Nobody can make me spend my money in a way that I don't want to.
That was where I've kind of leaned it on it as well a little bit. I mean, there was some times where I had some real conversations about some things, and I I would even feel bad. I would like guarantee bottles. I've done that before. I'm like, oh, if you don't like it, let me know. I'll buy it back from you. Like, because I felt so bad that somebody was going to buy a bottle. That burned me about 2 times, and I was done with that after doing that. So there's a funny story about that, but we'll tell that another time. But it's one of those things where yeah, it's one of those things where you're exactly right. It's like, hey, we're adults here, right? Like, we've got to, you're going to decide what you're going to support or not support, and that's just, you got to decide what works for you in this thing. So when you think about kind of where you're headed and you think about the journey you've been on, there's a lot of people that like Flow State, who's not an adult, who's in the chat right now, who's kind of still getting relatively started on his journey. But what advice would you give, if you could give any advice to somebody that's just kind of getting started? Do you have anything? And I know that you're probably not one of those guys that feel like you should give a lot of advice to people, because I know it makes me feel weird too. But you've learned some things on here. So what advice would you give someone that's getting started?
The same thing I was saying earlier. Like focus on the hooks. because that's 90% of it. Be authentic and short videos to build up your community. So like if I was going to do it all over and like change up my style, all of my creative effort would be on the hook. And then secondly, I would do 2 short videos a day. So boom, boom, people are seeing me, maybe even 3. And then twice a week, I would do content that I wanted to do,
Yep. Like yeah.
like, like reviews or lists or whatever.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. That's good. I mean, so that's some good feedback for those of you that are trying to get into the space and kind of want to think through that stuff right now. That's really good. So, dream collab. I always loved asking people this as a creator. So, I mean, have you collabed with many people? I know I've seen some stuff with you and Chris. I think you guys have done since with Chris. I know you guys have done some things together. And I think you've done stuff with Pauly too, I believe. But what's your dream collab that you've not been able to do yet?
I'm not, I don't really uh, like, like, like freak out or anything like that. Like the, the friends saw me at, at ASD, and it's like, I, there's not many people in the fragrance industry or in the fragrance community where I would be like, oh my gosh. But dream collabs would be with Noel Dezel, just because he's got
Jacked.
n- more so for his lifestyle content.
Yeah.
He is like such a caring and and from everything I hear about him from people who have met him or people that know him, like he's such a genuinely good human being, and like that would be that would probably be the dream collab. That or there's this dude in the UK who, of course, like all my Australian friends, any one of those guys, that would be a dream collab. But Nat Six Sense, I don't know if you're familiar with him or
Mm-mm.
not, but I just love his content. We have very different tastes, but there's something about his content that is so easy to watch, and I'm like, dude, you've got like that's what that's awesome. I want to do something with him. So
Yeah.
if I ever go to the UK, I'm definitely gonna send him a message.
No, that's awesome. I love those. I mean, I think those are really good. I think for me, I was always laughing. I don't know, it would go off the rails quickly, and we have so totally different styles that I don't know how it would ever even work because I'm a little bit more maybe. Well, I'm not gonna say polished, but I'm a little bit more polished than this guy. But he cracks me up every freaking time I watch him, and it's Cuba. No, that dude, I don't even know, man. Cuba, when Cuba gets going with his, it makes me laugh so damn hard. It's like I feel like that guy. I would love to get to know him more, and he's I don't know. He just always makes me laugh. He cracks me up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's a good one.
there's so many good creators out there. Like I there I could list off like 50 people that I would want to collab with, but just as far as like the dream ones, which that I'll probably never get to collab with, those would be the two.
Hey, don't be bringing that negativity in here, dude. You're doing some amazing stuff. You never know. You never know where you're heading. You
Yeah.
never know. Hey, I'm gonna pump you up. I don't care. I'm gonna. But yeah, Trey, you're right on it, man. Blessing morning, my beautiful people. C to the U to the B to the A. He's on it, man. I'll tell you, he's on it. So he's
Andrew, Country Fried Fragrance, something about him, like I'm going to collab with him soon. But
is he off here
it's a,
now? Is he was talking about being off here? Is he moved over completely to IG?
no, he's posting on here regularly too.
Okay, he's back. Okay, good. Okay, I was wondering because I thought he was maybe moving over and I hadn't seen him in a while, so he came back. Okay, good. All right, good. Yeah, he's another guy he's got a story, man. I'd love to interview him sometime. Like there's a lot more to him, I think, than we probably know.
Yeah, yeah. I've talked to him a lot, and he shares openly about it, so I don't feel bad saying this, but I like me and him we've been sober like this a pretty comparable time. Like I think he's got 7 years. I've been sober 7 years. Um, we both been through some shit. Like, dude, I was homeless in 2016.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I I was one of those guys that you'd be walking around with your family downtown, and you say, "Don't make eye contact with him, honey. Don't look at him." You
Wow.
know? Yeah.
Thank you for opening up and talking about that, man. I mean, that's something, I've always said this to multiple people, like, anyone that thinks that they're not, like, 1 or 2 weird things happening from being in a really shit situation is dreaming and is living in La La Land. Like, it doesn't take much for a couple bad things to happen, and all of a sudden, your life looks a whole lot freaking different than it does, right now. And so, man, well, first off, kudos to you for being sober for 7 years. That's freaking amazing. Like that's, I guess if I can ask, what finally, what was the thing that made you, get to that point? Like made you like say, hey, look, I'm done. Like I'm going to be able to stop this because it's not an easy thing to do.
There were so it was a few things. The substances kind of always did something for me that allowed me to deal with life, and then it got to a point where they weren't doing that anymore, but I was still doing them,
Hmm.
and I started my journey in recovery in 2015, and I got sober in 2019. So for 4 years, I was trying and not making much progress. But my uncle came and beat on my door because I was ignoring their phone calls, and they thought they thought something had happened to me. And I answered the door. Like, I'm 6'1". I'm like 225 pounds right now. I answered the door. I was in my towel, covered in track marks, and this was in 2019, so I wasn't homeless at that point in time. But I answered the door, and he's like, "Why do you keep doing this to yourself, Eli?" I was 160 pounds,
Oh my
so
gosh.
I was basically my skeleton. And he asked me that, and I took a minute to think, and that was the first time I didn't have an answer. I was like, I was like, man, I don't know. And that was like the jolt that I needed, was that I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. And at that point in time, I realized I didn't have all the answers, and then I needed to find them from some people that did. And that's how it started.
That's beautiful.
I,
Have you told your uncle that story? Like, have you told him that was does he know?
yeah, he knows that he is a huge part of why I am where I am right now.
Dude.
I actually just did his roof for him last year, which was awesome.
Yeah, I love that, man. Thank you for sharing that because you know how many people are going through stuff similar or they've been through it. And like that's the other thing I love about this platform is like I meet so many people that I never would have met before and that are all dealing with things, some similar, some different. But I have there's actually quite a few people on here that I have talked to who are who have recovered from some sort of a substance abuse or an addiction of some sort. And um I just love that because it's real life, man. I mean, I'll tell you. I mean, where I am, in Indiana, like we had a huge problem with meth and with all the stuff that kind of I probably am going to get restricted for just saying that. Sorry, but for so I,
That's why I was
I
careful.
I didn't go to the PR school that Chewy sent me to. I got to go back to the PR school. But there's so many different people that have had that addiction, and I always say like you just never know. Like I work at a college and a university. You would not believe how many recovering people that have recovered with drug addiction that are now in college and have finally turned their lives around, are doing amazing things. But you just don't. There's a lot of people out there that have dealt with this, and so thanks for being I don't know, being open and telling a part of your journey. I'm sure you probably helped somebody here, even though you didn't know you were going to do that.
I hope so, man. I think that's the whole reason I got a second chance, was to share that and let people know anything's possible, and you can overcome anything with the help of others and believing in something bigger than you.
Yeah, I love it, man. And you look so damn healthy. Like I love that too because like I can only imagine you at that weight. Like I hope I never see a photo from you from then because I bet it was not the same.
There are I very few photos. I shut myself up and didn't see anybody. I knew loneliness as few do, as they say.
Yeah, yeah. It's and that's another. Do you think? I mean, again, I don't want to push too hard on this, but do you think there was anything in the military? Because you talked about being in the military and then coming out, and like, was there any part of that, or was that just kind of a separate chapter in the life? And don't think that had much to do with everything.
It definitely played a part. I think the biggest part that it played though was having an identity and then not having one. So being a Marine, that was like my whole identity because it was all I'd done in my life up to that. Like I graduated high school, joined the Marine Corps. I was infantry in the Marine Corps. Did what I did. I went overseas in 2010 and came back and got out, and then I had no identity, and I isolated myself from others, thinking that I was separate from them because of things that I'd been through that they couldn't understand, but also not acknowledging that most people have been through some shit, you know. Just about everybody's been through some kind of trauma. It may not look the same, but it was traumatic to them in a way. And then learning that trauma's trauma and that I have that commonality with pretty much everybody, that was what kind of pulled me out of it.
Dude, that is so beautiful. Like I forget all the fragrance talk. We could have just talked about this, man, and about how awesome that is. I mean, that's just it's just wonderful to see. And like I can only imagine like what's next for you too, and like what your journey is going to continue to look like, and helping other people, and so hopefully you're talking to talking to people and helping others, or in your community, because I'm sure there's a lot of people that would be inspired by your story, and could probably use that for sure.
Polly said my mic died. Can you guys hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Paul,
Yeah.
Is Paulie messing with you? What's Paulie doing?
I don't know.
No, I mean I don't know. It may be on the camera. I don't know which one's coming through, but I can hear you fine. So
Dude, that's my boy right there, Brode Parfum. I don't know if you've seen his content. He's one of the funniest dudes.
no, I have not, but I'm about to follow him right now because I don't think I have followed him yet.
Oh my gosh. I don't. So I I try and like and comment on everybody everybody's stuff that I interact with. For me to post something on my story, like it's got to be something that's like freaking good. And I've posted Brody on my story multiple times because he just cracks me up. And I talk with Brody probably 3-4 times a week too. He's great.
Well, we're gonna look now. We're gonna pull it up and do it. We're gonna do a Brody review real quick here. He didn't know it was coming.
Yeah, dude. Go to the last hot takes review. That's probably pretty funny.
The one that's pinned here, or the last one that's
Let's see if this motherfucker knows ball. Fragrance hot takes, no rage vat. 10%. You don't need 100 fragrances. You really only need 5. 100% yes. I'm envious of the person that has 4 fragrances that they just love. Because I'm going to be honest, I have 10. I have 10 that I rate above every other fragrance in my collection. So yeah, I could cut down to a calm 10, maybe even a calm 5. So yes, 100% agree.
I can't wait to go back and watch the rest of this. I mean, this is awesome.
There are very few videos that are over 2 minutes that I can watch on TikTok, and his like I don't even 2x his.
I freaking love it. I love it. I'm gonna have to definitely yeah, I saw your comment on there too. He goes, I wear 60 sprays to assert dominance.
Yeah, dude. What's funny is that comment has more likes than any of my videos.
Oh shit. That's the thing about this damn platform, man. I tell you, sometimes it'll build you up, and sometimes it'll really tear you down really quick.
Yeah, I turned off notifications for it because I'm like, I don't want to hear about my Brody comment anymore.
That's awesome, Brody. Well, I can't wait to watch more of your stuff. So we'll definitely have you on here more. But brother, it has been so good to talk to you. I kind of want to leave you the last word, man. We've been talking for I told you I wouldn't keep you too late, and I know you obviously got work in the morning and everything else, and you're doing this part time too. And I appreciate all your time. But kind of, what's next for you? Like, what do you see kind of in your journey as a creator and kind of where you're headed? Or have you even thought about it? I mean, it's okay to say you haven't thought about it either, because I don't know. Sometimes I don't know. I don't think about it, but like, what's next for you?
Man, as far as like fragrance content creation goes, I'm not really sure. Like I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing and try and get better at it. I'm gonna try and improve the hooks and bring more of me into my content. But like I maybe I blow up, whatever. But like that's not like this big idea I have. Like I've got a good job. I've got some business opportunities with some good friends, and that are very promising. And like that's my that's part of my life. This is part of my, like, all these are parts of my life that make my life better. And as long as content creation continues to make my life better, I'll do it. If I ever feel like it's not, then that's when I'll step away from it, you know?
That makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. I mean, that's pretty good. And I love it. I think, I mean, again, I don't know your whole story, but it sounds like to me you've got some real balance in your life now. Like you really have things like kind of like, you know what I mean? Like you know kind of where life is, where work is, where family is, where significant others are, where TikTok is, where fragrance is. Like it seems like you probably have maybe more balance than you've had. Would you agree with that, or is that an off take?
Dude, balance is, I always think of balance like that clown at the circus that's spinning plates. Like he's got one on his foot and one on each hand. When one starts to fall, you have to pay a little bit more attention to it. And then when the other one starts to fall, you pay. So like you're constantly rotating everything without letting any of the plates drop. And that's kind of how I feel about my life. Like if I see I'm slacking in one area, I put more effort in there. And another one, I put more effort in there. But like things like content creation, yes, I love doing it and it brings me joy. But like family, work, um, recovery, those three things right there are like super important to me. And also like relationships with my friends, and honestly, guys like Brody, like Polly, like Chewy, and even like you, Joe. Like
Yeah,
we don't know each other super well, but
sure.
we've gotten to know each other well. If I do stop making content, then I'm still going to interact with you guys because y'all become my friends, and relationships matter. I think I'm going to quote an episode of The Walking Dead. Everything in this life that's worth a damn is about people.
I could not have said that better. That is almost like a perfect thing to end on. I'm in the relationship business. I work kind of like you, in sales of a sorts. I'm kind of I do fundraising, and I do like, I do like university relations, kind of, a lot of different things, but mainly around donor relations. And everything I say is everything we do is about people. It's all about relationships, and you can tell an authentic relationship versus somebody that's just trying to get something from you. Like it's clear as day. Like we can all spot it. And I think that's the biggest thing I always challenge even my young fundraisers, my young people to do is, whatever your work is, your sales, your fundraising, whatever it is, that is going to come in time if you treat people the right way and you really build authentic relationships. It's the long game, it's not the short game, and it's going to pay off every freaking time if you do it right. And it's not easy. It's not the fastest route all the time. So like that sucks a little bit, but it's always worth it. And so um, I don't know. I'm sure you could probably relate to that with sales easily.
It's so much more fulfilling if you actually give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. WT, man, this was your cast, and you missed it. But good news for you. We're gonna have this on Tube of the U probably, hopefully by tomorrow. So you have to check out me there, follow it along, get notifications there. It's Dean of Sense, same on that profile. I appreciate you taking all the time you have, Eli. It really means a lot to me that you come on here and open up and talk about this. I think everybody's enjoyed it. A lot of great comments, and man, I can't wait to keep supporting you. I know everybody in here is going to keep supporting you. you, and you know, whatever that looks like, content or life or regardless. So kudos to you in your recovery. Kudos to you on just being a great guy. I think you don't also, I guess, underestimate your ability to bring joy to other people too, because I think you have been somebody that I love seeing pop up on the Saturday shows, the community shows, and to talk fragrance. Like, you bring a lot of joy to people too. So I hope you know you have a lot of value too that you're adding to other people's lives.
Thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Guys, make sure you follow. If you don't, make sure you follow Eli. Most of you probably do because you're smart and you should be following Eli. If you're not following me, be a little less smart, but I would appreciate a follow if you could. And yeah, definitely follow. I would definitely appreciate it. And hey, next week, I'm very excited. I think we've got it pretty much confirmed that we're going to have Notes with Victoria. So, you know, we're going to have to see if she does a better job or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll have tougher questions. I don't know. I'll work with you, Eli, over the week. We'll come up with some really good questions for Victoria that'll stump her.
Ask her what material her favorite fragrance. Ask her what material the bottle's made out of.
You know that's coming up. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. That's definitely coming up. Guys, you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. And thank you for all your support. And we will see you on Saturday, 10 a.m. for FragTalk Live Weekend Edition. Have a great one, everybody.
Good job.